Hi, I'm Pam and I'm here to talk about retro video games. Today I'm talking about a classic puzzle game that was released on pretty much every platform available to it. It's Lemmings. Lemmings is a real-time strategy puzzle game developed by DMA Design and first released on the Amiga in 1991. Over the next few years, it was ported to the Atari, DOS, Game Boy, NES, Genesis, and many other systems. The Super Nintendo version, released in North America in 1992 by Sunsoft, is the one I played for this review. Lemmings uses the idea that the namesake creatures are stupid, mindless things that are oblivious to danger and will keep pushing forward no matter what for the basis of the game mechanics. Each level will present a number of hazards to the lemmings: falls that will kill them, water that will drown them, fire that will burn them. The goal is to safely guide them to the level's exit. The game features 4 difficulty modes with 30 levels in each of them. Plus, there's an extra 5 Sunsoft special levels at the end, making 125 levels in total. There's no shortage of gameplay here. When attempting to steer your lemmings onto a safe path, you get access to a number of skills or tasks that you can assign to individual lemmings. These include things like blockers, which will stop other lemmings from walking past and will come in handy in most levels, bombers, miners, and bashers, which will clear new paths in the level in slightly different ways, and floaters, which will give a lemming a tiny umbrella to allow it to safely float down from a height that would otherwise kill them. The first 10 or so levels of fun difficulty provide a nice unofficial tutorial for the game. Most of these levels give you access to only a couple different skills, so you can learn what they're used for and get comfortable with them. Once you're done with those, it opens up and lets you choose how to tackle each puzzle. There's usually more than one solution. For example, if the lemmings have to drop from a great height, you can make them floaters, or you can use miners to dig a gently sloping path. The level names are all clever references like Live and Let Lem or Nightmare on Lem Street. Some even give you a hint on how to solve them. Lemmings has an extensive password system that gives you a password after every single level you beat, so you can get back to the game right where you left off. Each level tasks you with saving a certain % of the total lemmings, and has a time limit. If you fail at either of these, you'll have to try again. As you move up in difficulty, a lot more precision is needed. You'll get a limited number of special lemmings to use. You might only get 2 builders, so if you build in the wrong place, you'll be stuck and have to start again. Or you may need to react quicker when it comes to assigning different abilities to the lemmings. If you mess up, you can use Lemming Bomb to nuke everything. This will make the creatures explode in a burst of colorful confetti. This can also be used to clear the last few lemmings from the screen. Blockers are used a lot in levels, and when they're the only ones left, there's no way to get them moving again, so you need to blow them up. Poor dumb little critters. Alright, wait a minute. I can't continue this lemming slander any longer. The whole concept for this game is based on a lie. Lemmings are not unthinking creatures that rush headlong into their own destruction. They were framed by Disney. I'm not sure where the idea that lemmings are suicidal creatures who frequently throw themselves off cliffs and into the Arctic Sea came from, but it's a behavior that Disney was determined to capture for the 1958 Oscar-winning documentary White Wilderness. However, the lemmings were never observed jumping off any cliffs. Not of their own volition, at least. So, the filmmakers herded the little creatures off the cliffs so they could get the footage they wanted. You can even see some of them trying to scamper back up the cliff. The whole thing was completely fabricated and helped perpetuate the myth of lemming mass suicide on which the game is based. These filmmakers sound like terrible people. But back to the game, based on a lie though it may be. Lemmings also has a 2-player competitive mode. Each player plays the same level, but has their own exit marked blue or green, and they need to get as many of their lemmings into it as possible. Simultaneously, they want to prevent the other player from getting any of their lemmings to their own exit. The graphics are pretty rudimentary and not all that different from the original Amiga version. The levels, though varied in appearance, aren't all that impressive looking, and some of them are kinda ugly. The lemmings themselves don't look very much like the gerbil-like rodents they are in the real world, but creatures that walk on two legs and wear clothing. Does anyone else find lemmings look a lot like the characters from Fraggle Rock? The game uses samples of copyrighted music, like How Much Is That Doggy in the Window, or Tchaikovsky's Dance of the Little Swans. Sometimes this results in bizarre compositions, like hearing Wagner's bridal chorus while in a hellish level, while blood on the walls indicates that paradise is to be found at the end. The gameplay is quite engaging, and the puzzles are fun to solve. The wide variety of difficulties means there's something for everyone here, and I really appreciate that there are often multiple ways of getting to your destination. However, there is one glaring problem, and that's that there's no way to speed things up. You can increase the speed at which the lemmings are released, but once you've built them a safe path to the exit, there's no way to end the level quickly. The game would greatly benefit from a way to increase the lemmings' walking speed, so you aren't stuck waiting for sometimes minutes for them all to reach the exit. Lemmings is a fun game that was popular for a reason. Though visually it's not that impressive, it's fun and challenging, and the puzzles really let the player think outside the box to come up with their own solutions. If you like puzzle games but haven't tried this one, I'd suggest giving Lemmings a go. If you like this video, please check out one of my other retro game reviews, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I also have a Patreon if you want to support my content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.